Hugging Face launched its second robot today called the MicroDuck, aimed at making AI more accessible, more playful. The trainable biped robot can walk, kick, grab items, and even roller skate. And its open source software allows users to create new AI behaviors. Hugging Face co-founder and chief science officer Thomas Wolf joins us, and we will discuss MicroDuck. But first, multiple media outlets have reported in the last 24 hours that Nvidia is close to a deal to buy Hugging Face, Thomas, for roughly $13 billion. Neither company has responded to Bloomberg's request for comment. You're a co-founder of Hugging Face. What can you tell us about Nvidia buying your company?
Yeah, nothing. Unfortunately, I won't comment on that. But I'm very happy to talk about MicroDuck today.
Appreciate that. No comment. There were earlier reports that generally Hugging Face is exploring a sale to multiple parties. Are the co-founders considering selling Hugging Face generally?
I would say we've always had a lot of interest. We've certainly been a lot in the news this summer, right? With the incident of OpenAI, with generally open source model going really, really well. So we often have offers both of acquisition and investment. Nothing very, very special this summer on this side.
And so to be clear, no comment and nothing in Nvidia buying Hugging Face?
No.
Okay, MicroDuck. Let's talk about what we're here to discuss. Second robot.
Thanks.
Price point is interesting. Why? Why does Hugging Face want to put this out into the world?
Well, we think just like everyone is able to write code app, just like now everyone is able to build software, there is a time coming very soon where everyone will be able to use robot to write code robots. And we think we need the right robot to do that. And according to us, that's a robot that's very accessible in price, that's very open source, so you can put whatever model you want in it, from OpenAI to Anthropic to open source models, and that you can use to also explore the latest development in robotics, namely world models or reinforcement learning techniques.
Right.
So that's MicroDuck.
Is MicroDuck, we're showing some video of MicroDuck now. So MicroDuck in this particular video is depicted in what looks like a child's bedroom. This is something to have at home? This is something for the developer community, or both?
So, Ed, I think we're creating kind of a new category of robots here that I think are both for tech aficionados and people who know maybe how to code or who know how to write code, but also for the whole family, just like AI started as something very tech-centric and now is used by everyone. So we expect this robot to be something people will buy to, play with their kids, with their family members, but also to discover themselves how to train, behaviors for robots, and maybe to transform, like people can transform open source models, so to tweak it, to invent new games, to invent new activities.
Thomas, Hugging Face's core competence is open models, right? Not necessarily on the hardware side. Could you just explain how MicroDuck came together, who you partner with on the hardware?
Of course. So you remember probably 2 years ago, we acquired a robotics company called Robotics based in France,
yes.
A team of 20. And actually, when we acquired this team, they already had started to work a little bit on a side project, which was the ancestor of MicroDuck. Was not fully working at the time, could not stand up when it fell. And so I thought, okay, we can't market it to a consumer yet, because if you have to put it back standing each time, it's not possible. But once we found the behavior that you see here, when it can rise again with its head, we thought, okay, there is something here. So that's a project that's been actively worked on for the past 2 years. That's one of our longest robotics projects ever.
There's been reports in recent days that Hugging Face's ARR has hit about $150 million. There's the backstory you've just given on robotics, and this is the second robot offering. In terms of the business model, where does this fit in? And how everyday people consume AI. Is this going to be sort of a very serious business line for you guys, or it's something smaller scale?
Definitely a growing business line for us, robotics in general. So our business, like you say, I mean, I won't comment on the exact numbers, but we've definitely had a surge in revenue in the past 6 months, right? We passed 100 million a couple of months ago, and we're definitely above that now. This is driven by the usage of open source model and data sets. And a lot of these data sets now are data set for robotics. That's the strongest growing category of data set on the hub. And so we think that growing the community that use robots will ultimately be beneficial for us. Now, this being said, already the selling, for instance, we had a previous robot called Richie Mini. We already sold more than 10,000 units. So that's already $4 to $5 million revenue. So it starts to be insignificant. And even for MicroDuck, I was quickly looking at the numbers. We started, we opened the shop page just a couple of hours ago, and we're already above $500,000 sold. So it's going really, really fast. We're selling one MicroDuck every 4 seconds at the moment.
Selling one MicroDuck every 4 seconds. Thomas, before I let you go, OpenAI published this report in the last 24 hours. I know you've been leading the robotics efforts, but the conclusion is that OpenAI said it could have reacted quicker, to where 2 of its models mistakenly, we've said, accessed and breached your platform. I spoke to Clem at length about this in a 20-minute conversation, but just the latest findings, what Hugging Face's position is on that.
I think it's still the same, which means that we think open source models were extremely useful to be able to defend ourselves. I think it's maybe in the short term, we'll see a little bit less of these events because the companies will be more careful about the guardrails, but ultimately, I think it will be really hard to be always, fully fault-proof. So there will always be cases of models that manage to escape in one way or another. So I think research on alignment, better aligning closed model, better aligning open source model as well is something that needs to be done now. It's very important.
Outside of OpenAI sort of publishing its findings of that investigation, did they give you any assurances on being stricter, more thorough with the guardrails and the testing environment?
Not specifically to us, but definitely you've heard, right, that they've been posing. I think there's much more now guardrail and monitoring. One takeaway, though, from reading yesterday or 2 days ago reports from me is that monitoring what's happening is still extremely difficult because this model talk in their own language. There's a lot of events going at the same time. You see 500, 700, 1,000 agents at the same time doing multiple things. This is going to stay as challenging activity to monitor exactly what's going on for the coming month.